I'm sure you have heard time and time again people telling you how to invest your money. No, not another investment video. Maybe I should go into crypto. I heard that popping off recently. In a few years, that's going to grow and grow. That's the way forward, crypto, yeah. Or maybe the stock market. That's quite a safe investment, isn't it? What do you know about stocks? Real estate, maybe? I heard getting on the property ladder. That's a really good idea. You want to get on the property ladder nice and early, build your portfolio up. There's a lot of money in property. If you go into property, you'll never go wrong. It's always a safe asset. See, there's a lot of different options that you could go down, and on social media there'll be a lot of people pushing you down their different kind of agendas and what they believe is the best investment for your money. And when it comes to investing your money, I don't want to just talk about traditional investments, as I've just mentioned, crypto, stocks, etc., real estate, because I don't think that is I don't believe that has the best ROI in terms of yourself and your development and your future kind of income capital that you could receive from making these investments that you might not have really considered before. And I believe there's different tiers to invest in your money, and for me there's 4 different tiers, and the first tier is the kind of the stage that a lot of kind of normal people will get stuck at. This tier, they're just buying stuff to impress others. We'll talk about stuff like watches, clothes, cars, houses that they can't afford, all of this types of stuff. When you're younger is an easy trap to fall into, because I fell into that trap from around the age of 13, 14, when you start to realise that there's kids out there wearing a lot of designer clothes and they're getting a lot more recognition than you are. They're a lot more popular, they fit in a lot more. So naturally, we want to try fit in with them. But unfortunately, for a lot of people, as they get older, this doesn't really change a lot. They still try and fit in, they still try and buy the nice stuff that they can't really afford. But because their peers will give them some type of validation, and society tells you that's the way you should live, you should want these types of materialistic possessions, they still continue to buy so, even though it's scientifically proven that it doesn't actually improve our happiness at all. It probably, realistically, it's going to decrease our happiness significantly, because we're always going to be comparing ourselves to these people, and it's just not worth the mental kind of fatigue that it's causing to all of us, trying to just buy everything and we'll just end up going broke anyway. The thing is, people with these mindsets as materialistic possessions, 95, probably 99% of these people, it doesn't really matter how much money they own, because they will just end up spending almost the same amount of it. You could give them 10k a month and they'd probably end up spending 9k on shit they don't need. You could give them 2k and they'd probably end up spending 1,500 or so, or even more. Like, they'd probably just end up spending the same amount in comparison, because they are financially illiterate. And a lot of these types of people won't be watching this video because they think they're just ignorant, I guess, in a way, and it's the worst kind of return on your money. Like, if you are I know a few people who are into their cars and stuff, and fair enough, like, if you were into these types of things, then go for it. And if you're earning, say you're earning 10k a month, you want to spend 10% of what you're earning on a materialistic possession, then I don't think that's a bad thing at all. Like, it is all in comparison to how much the percentage you're kind of spending on this types of stuff, and whether it's truly what you desire, if it's truly what you want, if it's not for some other kind of reason, such as like social validation or what kind of other people think, because that's a big reason why a lot of people do this stuff. I don't really think many people out there truly desire these possessions. If it was like down to their core desires, I think it's pushed by society or media or someone in their family or friends that has it, so they want it too. Truly think about it, and if you do, then I understand why you would kind of go down this, but I really think this is low quality investing your money. There's really not a lot of ROI at all, that I can't really think of that why you would do this. It is kind of just completely for status and validation. And at the end of the day, we don't want to be around these people. We don't want these people in our lives that will give us more status and validation just by having materialistic possessions, stuff that doesn't actually say anything about us as a person whatsoever. So I really think you should very much limit the amount of money you are spending on materialistic possessions, and if at all, just don't spend anything on it. Because now, like, you see what I'm wearing like a t-shirt. This probably costs like £3-4. I think it's from like Sainsbury's, which is just like a supermarket in the UK. Anyone in the UK will be familiar with it. And my shorts I'm wearing, I just wear literally just plain shorts, plain socks. I don't care about this stuff anymore. It's a waste of money. I feel like for a big reason why I'm like this, and why you might feel the same if you've got to this stage in your life, is since I built up a physique that I'm really proud of, I'm not really bothered what I wear, because without sounding too egotistical, I know I look good in most clothes because of the body, the frame I've kind of built up. And I know this isn't the case for a lot of people who haven't invested their time in building a physique that they know they look good in, because it doesn't really matter what clothes you wear. You stick a £300-500 jumper or t-shirt on some guy and he's out of shape, and you stick a £5 t-shirt on me, I'm gonna look 10 times better than him. And that's just the truth of the situation, whether you want to admit it or not. It doesn't really matter what I wear. If the colours don't go, if I'm wearing something that most people be like, oh, that doesn't look good, I don't really think it doesn't really affect my appearance. I think I'm pretty confident in what I'm wearing nowadays, and I think that's the stage that you should all get to, that you should definitely aspire to be like. And I think it comes from that kind of self-love which you kind of get from being on self-improvement and really kind of finding more about yourself from a spiritual point of view. But that's going a bit of off topic now, but that's stage 1 of investing your money, and for me the lowest ROI. So on to stage 2, and that is traveling. So I've spent a lot of money and time on traveling, and it's one of the things that I really do enjoy doing, and I definitely think there is a good ROI on traveling, because the corners of the world that I've seen, that I know I'm very privileged to have done so. I know that a lot of people out there will never see some of the places that I've seen in their life, and I've seen this at such a young age. So I'm very privileged and grateful for the opportunities that I've had to be able to do this at a young age. And for me, the memories that I've had with my family, like, I cannot put a price on that. It is invaluable to me, and it should be to you. Like, I honestly I wouldn't swap them for any amount of money. And also, when it comes to traveling as well, the realizations I've had about my life and where I want to be, some of the biggest ones have come, I'd probably say all of my biggest realizations about what I truly want in my life, and kind of just self-actualization about myself, has all come from traveling. And I don't think I would have had these kind of moments of introspectiveness if it hadn't been for traveling the world and just going to these places where I've seen people who have nothing, and seen people who it's clear what matters, what makes people truly happy. When I go to these poorer places around the world, I see what matters, and that is massive. I couldn't, obviously we all kind of know this, but to see it firsthand is invaluable. I think that you need to go see that if you're really struggling to kind of grasp what you should truly value in your life, because it has honestly changed my life, and I don't think you can put a price on that whatsoever. But one thing I would say about traveling is I've traveled a lot, especially over the last year, and I've been kind of living the dream that I thought I wanted, which was to be that digital nomad lifestyle. I thought if I could just live somewhere around the world, just travel around on my laptop, earn a bit of money whilst I do it, then that would be the lifestyle for me. But the big realization that I had once doing this is that it's not as easy as you think. For me anyway, I would often just turn into more bad habits. I wouldn't be working anywhere near as hard because I'd be out of my routine that I would be at home. I wouldn't be kind of sat down in the morning doing my work and then going to the gym and then doing other tasks later on in the day like I kind of do at home. And I would definitely be slacking in my work. I'd be slacking in my gym progress. I wouldn't be exercising anywhere near as much. My sleep schedule would be a bit of a mess. Maybe I'd be drinking a little bit too, which obviously this stuff isn't awful at all, but when you start to do it more and when you're trying to grow something that you want to do long term, it is going to compound and it's going to negatively affect that. And it's something that I've been very aware of the last few times. I have really noticed my work levels have slacked off, and I think I need to allow myself to just enjoy traveling. And that's the advice I would really give to you if you kind of think, okay, I want to be that digital nomad, or I'm working kind of on an online business. It's important to have these breaks. I truly believe that you should rest, and I feel like some of my best ideas have come from traveling, like I say, with these realizations that I've had. So I think it's very crucial that you have these breaks, but be cautious and be aware that your levels are going to slack off, and that you probably should just give yourself some time to just go out and explore or see some places and be like, yeah, I'm prepared that I'm not going to do the same level of work as I normally am, and I'm okay with that. Do that for 4 or 5 days, whatever it may be longer for you, and not be putting pressure on yourself and kind of having that in the back of your mind, as most of us do with self-improvement. When we know we've come so far and we can't really go back, we know we're not ignorant like a lot of people are to these types of things. So it's kind of hard when you know, maybe you think maybe I should be doing a bit more than I am, but you have to kind of allow yourself to rest and recover. And this is, I think, one of the best ways to kind of have new ideas and kind of just relax your mind. And yeah, I honestly think that is a way to go about it, instead of trying to live this digital nomad lifestyle that I thought that I wanted. And maybe you'll have that realization later in life. Maybe you'll come back to this video and it will make a lot more sense to you. But that's from my perspective. Maybe some people can do it a lot better than me. They can just do that deep work. But for me, when you're surrounded in an environment where there's a lot of temptations there, whether that be the better weather or women or just other stuff that you don't get at home, is a lot harder to kind of do that. So be wary when it comes to traveling of trying to do your work there, and just enjoy yourself. I think that's the most important message I can give to you. So stage 3 of investing your money. This is the traditional investments, as I mentioned. So I definitely do believe that the traditional investments have a good ROI. Stocks, crypto, real estate, you can definitely make a lot of money from this. But what I'd say with all of them is the more initial capital that you have, the better, and the higher ROI, we all kind of know this, you're going to get from it. And if you don't have a lot of money, I don't think it's really that valuable to you. Personally, I was a massive fan of real estate when I was younger. I thought that was kind of the way to go about it, but the more I've kind of learned about it, and I'm like, maybe this is not the right avenue to go down. It may be for some people though, because if you know a lot more about the industry, if you know people who can do up property and know a lot about property yourself, maybe you've done that as a job or within the industry for years, then you're going to have a massive kind of benefit. You're going to have a massive advantage on someone like myself and a lot of maybe you guys watching this who think that real estate is a really good option for you to go down. I'm a lot more interested in commercial property now. For me, something like garages or storage units, I feel like there's a massive higher ROI on that, and initial investment would be a lot lower. So that's something that I'm looking to go into future down the line for me personally. And then you hear a lot about something like crypto. I'm not going to try and tell you that I'm an expert at all. I have a bit of money in crypto, but it's not a lot. Mainly just in the bigger ones, because I don't think anyone really knows a lot about these smaller coins and stuff. I think, yeah, it's highly likely that crypto is going to become a lot bigger with the way kind of online banking and the decrease of kind of cash in the economy. So I definitely think it's going to grow. But again, it's one of those things, if you don't, you can put your money in these smaller coins, and yes, there's a chance that they could grow and make you a lot of money. But I don't know enough about that, so I'm not going to give you financial advice in that regard. And even if you do go to these people who claim they know a lot about crypto, I'd be very cautious about putting a lot of money in that. Maybe you put a few hundred in and it could change and it's not going to affect your life, then maybe, yeah, if you have that spare money, then yeah, go for it, bro. But I don't know a lot about it. The main ones, Ethereum and Bitcoin, they're probably going to be the ones that you are going to make money from within 5-10 years. But if you only have a few £100 or maybe 1 or 2k, it's not really going to change your life, so it might not be the best investment for you. Something that I mainly invest my money in is just the S&P 500. I believe that is probably it's safe. I know it's going to rise every single year. You're going to get a return of 7-9% roughly on average. I'll put up on screen now of kind of, if you go on moneychimp.com, you can see the return you can get from different types of investments. So maybe you invest maybe 5-10k a year, and you can see the return you can get from investing that amount of money and reinvesting every year with compound interest. That I know a lot of people kind of slate compound interest for it not being a massive return, but over time it is a very good way to build up your money. And for me, having that security there is massive, because like with crypto and real estate, I don't know a lot about it. It's a safe way, and for me the ROI is a lot better than just having the money in your bank account. So if you have the spare money, I would recommend putting it into something like the S&P 500 or a safe stock that you know is going to rise. It's not going to change your life. It's not going to rise to 20. You're not going to get 100% returns within a year or anything like that. But unless you really know your stuff on stocks, I don't think this is a good idea to put your money in risky stocks that may rise a lot, but they may also fall a lot. What is the point? I think just continue to build that and compound that money every single year, and within a few years you will be a lot better off financially. Like I say, it's not going to change your life, but for me it's a lot better than having it in your bank account. So that is the best way to go about it when it comes to somewhat the traditional routes of investing your money. And the final stage, which I believe has the highest ROI on yourself, on your future self particularly, is self-investments. So this could be in the form of education or health or mindfulness, all of these types of stuff. So for me, I have an Aura ring, which I need to use a lot more, but it's basically a ring and it tracks all your sleep statistics. So it will tell you how much kind of deep sleep you're getting and the amount of times you're waking up and the kind of times. It tracks literally everything. And it also includes stuff like your breathing and a lot of different stuff. You should definitely go look into that. But when it comes to sleeping, we know how important our sleep is. I believe that our sleep and exercising are the two things that are non-negotiable every single day, and everything else should kind of be worked around our sleep and exercise every single day. So just investing, I think Aura ring costs around £250, and then there's a monthly membership of around £7-8 a month, which when you think about your health, like, it's not a lot of money. I know a lot of people won't do it because they think it's a lot, but think about what you truly spend your money on, and if it's something you can keep, and look at it as a form of an investment, which it is an investment in yourself, more than just buying stuff that you buy, like these materialistics, that isn't really an investment. Like, the ROI on that is massive, and when it comes to your health, there's not a price you can put on that. So there's Aura and there's Whoop as well, which is highly recommended. I don't have one myself, but that's a lot more for fitness. If you go into the gym, it can track a lot of different things, so maybe that's something you could look into too. When it comes to your health, like just having things around your house, eating a lot healthier, investing in products, maybe like more natural products, stuff that's not just full of plastic, like just eating a lot healthier will change. Especially, like I say, going back to your future self, in a few years, you're gonna really be grateful for the food you're eating. It affects your like gut microbiome so much. I think that's how you say it, and that's basically how good you feel on a day-to-day basis. And honestly, it's massive, the foods we eat. Once you become aware of this, I've really noticed when I'm having a day when I'm not eating too well, I'm eating more sugar, or more saturated fat and salt in my diet. This is stuff that's obviously not good for us, and it really affects my mood, it affects my productivity, and just overall it's just investing a lot more in your diet and anything like that is going to be massive for you going forward. And stuff like something like a water filter, I really want to get like a proper water filter installed in this house, but I don't know if that's something I'm gonna do because it's not my house. I live with my mum, so I don't know if that's something she would agree with. But even if you just kind of get one of the water filters you just put in your fridge, it kind of gets the fluoride and stuff out of the water and all the other chemicals that a lot of people aren't really aware that are in the water. But honestly, if you kind of do this and then you go back to drinking a tap water one day, you can really taste the difference, and you will never drink tap water the same again. But anything that is an investment in yourself, it might be your business, so it might be coaching in maybe drop shipping or something like that, or Amazon FBA, or you want to become a YouTuber, invest in someone who's at a better stage than you, is a bit more advanced. They're going to help you a lot more than putting £50, £100 into crypto or the stock market. It's going to benefit you, and it's going to be something, if it's what you want to do for the rest of your life, if it's something that you really are passionate about and want to build on, then I really think investing a lot more money than that is not a bad investment at all. You maybe put £200-300 into coaching or whatever it may be for you, a course, something that can develop you. And even if you just learn one big lesson from this and it costs you £200-300, then surely it's worth it. If it's something that you can use to go kick on in your business or your career, then that's massive for you that you probably wouldn't have got anywhere. So I really advise you to invest in stuff like education, because there's so much out there that could honestly just change it for you. Just one little piece of advice could be the game changer for you. And that's kind of what I hope that you guys see in my coaching. That's what I want to give to you. It might just be the smallest just shift in your mindset is all it takes for you to go and push on and achieve what you needed to do. Give you that realization that actually I should be doing stuff a little bit differently. It was just, that was all I needed, that little push. That's why I do my coaching. I don't do it just for the money, but there's got to be a price for stuff like this, because you wouldn't take it seriously if it was free. So that's why you might see people who are like seen as scammers and stuff, but it's far from the opposite. A lot of people are just trying to make you value their time and what their services that they're offering you, and that's exactly what I do. But that is, for me, the biggest investment of your money, and how you should spend the vast majority of your money, particularly when you are young, when you are trying to develop, particularly if you're trying to do something like an online business where you need to kind of learn from people like myself. I went to university. People don't think about spending £30,000 on a course that they probably could have just learned from online. No one bats two eyelids about that, but spending £500, £1,000 on education from a coach or from a course that could change your life and make you a lot more money and make you live a lot better lifestyle, everyone's like, oh no, I can't. It's just a shift in that mindset is required for a lot of people. But I hope this has been a really insightful video, and maybe it will change your kind of perspective on where you are putting your money and what you are valuing currently, if it's the right things, if it's going to take you to where you want to be. Because I'm really keen on more people investing in themselves and growing and becoming the person that they need to become, and learning the required skills that are going to be more important, particularly in this kind of new age of AI and with the world ever changing. Like, attention is a new currency, and yeah, I think that's why I want to leave it for today. And yeah, I hope you invest your money a lot more wisely. And like I say, you can work with me one-on-one, and we can kind of shift that mindset. We can give you a kind of new perspective on what is important and where you need to be. Like I say, it might be one small thing, but if it changes you, if it changes your life in the smallest bit, it's priceless for you. But my coaching isn't too expensive, but link will be below. If you could like and subscribe, comment any thoughts, any other ways you would invest your money that you believe is the better ROI. Be interested to hear. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Take care.